You're listening to the Valley's best sports station, Fox Sports Eugene.
Ready for liftoff, live from Laurelwood Golf Course in Eugene. The best guests.
Kelly Graves, Mike Parker, Josh Hay, Melissa Lombardi, Travis Summers, the mayor of Rip City.
Smart, informative talk.
I think Dan Lanning sitting in his office going, you know what, fine, give us the toughest road to win the national championship. That's what it should be.
Teams that have the ability to take a punch in the mouth and move forward. And I think this Beavers team, they've shown that they can do that.
And a few detours.
Sean Penn doesn't look great right now.
A lot of breaking news.
I had to throw the Sean Penn thing in there because it just shocked me.
The long wait is over. The fastest 60 minutes in sports is on the air. It's Danny Havel,
We literally could talk for 3 hours and we would not be able to catch our breath.
Justin Grossweiler,
You stole my line.
golf, green grass, and a foamy beverage.
All you got to do is just tap it in.
Danny and Justin starts now, live from Laurelwood Golf on Fox Sports Eugene and Newport.
Hello, neighbors, and welcome high atop the first tee in the ninth green at Laurelwood Golf Course in beautiful Eugene, Oregon. This is the Danny and Justin radio program. Without Justin, it is, look, kids, it's the General, Jeff Oliver, joining me. Now, you can't see it if you're on the radio, but you can see it definitely if you are on YouTube and Twitter, where we're broadcasting live as well. But welcome, friends, live from Laurelwood. Bigfoot Beverages, a great sponsor of our Weekend Eve in the Wood program. So we've got the whole thing all stacked up and ready for you today. Oregon football, Oregon State football. We're going to talk NFL. Nick Sams is going to be talking about putts for pups. Jacob, the cooler, is not here. He's ill today, but we've got Will Benson to give a golf tip this week. So the rest of the cast of characters are all out here at Laurelwood. And General, thanks for sitting in, buddy, because Justin's up there in Alaska getting somebody married away.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for the invite. I understand it might be my last because I'm sneaking in my Cardinals love
right
of the
here.
Cubs Love Fest, taking my chances when I can. I mean, let's be honest, though. The Cardinals are a AAA team this year, and you're still rooting for a pro team. So
Bad.
we beat the Dodgers yesterday. But took in the opportunity there. Took off all my track hats. Back to baseball for a little bit.
So, I mean, you get to breathe for like, what, a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
I mean, you still have meetings and stuff. By the way, anybody, the marketing manager, director, the guy who does everything at Tracktown USA, if those of the four of you that don't know who Jeff Oliver is in Eugene or Newport, he's joining us. So, I mean, you just had the U.S. pair championships at Hayward, and it kind of like is, I don't want to say closes out the season, but it kind of is the last big event until the season starts to roll back through again, right?
Yeah, it was the final event at Hayward this season, although I will say if you're a family that has kiddos, the last two all-comers meets by Oregon Track Club are happening, I believe today is the last one. If you've never done that, check it out. Get down to Hayward. Your kiddos can run, jump, and throw.
Nice.
Pretty awesome event. Again, last one I think is today. That'll be back next summer. Obviously, we'll be back next summer. We had 12 events, starting with the Eugene Marathon.
Is that a busy year for you?
Yeah, that was a pretty busy one. But
non-Olympic busy year.
I mean, it's kind of normal. I mean, again, combining all those events, and obviously the Big Ten championships were new this year, and NCAAs and
high school state championships always there.
All those. And so I mean, we're going to take a little bit of a break here and just kind of catch our breath, but we're going to jump back in it and start planning next year. U.S. championships were amazing. We welcomed 26,000 people to Hayward over the 4-day event. We were pretty stoked to see those numbers, and obviously some great stuff happened on the track as well.
So we are out here, and if you have not been out to Laurelwood, well, first of all, shame on you. Secondly, we'll have Nick on here in a little bit. We'll always talk about the 5-star food and beverage that they have up there in the pub at Laurelwood. So it doesn't matter what the weather is. The pub is always operating. It's a favorite. It's become a favorite of mine. And listen, I live in North Eugene, okay? So I've got to make a little bit of a trek to get here. And yes, they are friends of mine. They are a sponsor of this. But you go where the good food is. And this place has not disappointed. I brought my mom and my wife out here for a few Saturday brunches. They do a great brunch on Saturdays and Sundays here. Smoke Friday, where they smoke a different, like we had meatloaf, chicken skewers last week. I'm really excited to hear about what Smoke Friday is, where they put meat on the smoker, some protein on the smoker, and you can smell it from miles around. So if you're even within a smelling distance of Laurelwood, you can come out here and enjoy the great food and, of course, the golf course. And I'm going to go ahead for the folks on YouTube and look at that. It is absolutely pristine. And take advantage of it today. You want to get a quick 9 in because it's going to be scorching hot this weekend. You hear it's going to get up to 100 possibly this weekend?
I did hear that. But even then, this course is unbelievable. It's in great shape right now. Little weather forecast today. If you could sneak out of the office and maybe get in 9. Decent wind coming out of the west. Maybe number one's
it's a cooling
approachable.
breeze. It's a breeze.
But I'm thinking maybe go for it in 2.
Okay.
On hole number 1.
All right, so this is, and we're going to get to news and notes in a second, Abby, but not right this second. So this is your first time back on the show since you texted me and you put it out on social media. You, young man, had a hole-in-one when you were back in the Midwest.
I think I sent a fax. No.
Talk about the hole-in-one, because every golfer, anybody who aspires to this game, that is like the top shelf that you can get. So come on, brag on yourself a little bit and tell us the club, tell us the conditions, all of it, so we can live vicariously through you.
Quick story, obviously busy track season, but I was able to sneak away back to Michigan, playing a golf event that my dad and brother and I have been playing in for many years now, up north Michigan, it was. I was coming off a triple bogey, so this is
so you set that up. Yeah, okay.
Got up to the tee box. My cart partner, he scoped it. He said 131. I scoped it. I said 133. I got up to the tee. My ball went in, so I looked at him. I go, I guess it was 133. And then
so did it bounce and roll in, bounce once and just drop in? You didn't jar it on the fly.
Yeah, you're talking me up quite a bit. So there's water on the right. So naturally, I'm going to go left a little bit. Pretty good swing, but was going a little left, narrow green. Thought I was heading right for the bunker on the left side. Went over the bunker, bounced, took a right, was heading for the green. At that point, I was pretty happy, and then it just rolled right into the cup.
Gosh. You're
hole in one number 3. You'll get one eventually.
Oh, jeez. Thanks. I said 8 inches. I've been 8 inches away. And, yes, it was a true 8 inches. I did win KP on that hole. It was in a tournament. All right, the Danny and Justin radio program, the General, Jeff Oliver, stepping in and helping us out today. Let's do some news and notes. We'll have Oregon football breakdown in a moment, as we'll hear from Rashad Samples, the running game coordinator, assistant head coach for the Oregon football program, and also Kamari Mathuti. We'll hear a little bit of his post-practice comments, the inside linebacker, a redshirt freshman that's joined the Ducks this season. Well, we'll start out all the way across the country. A North Carolina judge has dismissed a lawsuit filed by the 1983 NC State men's basketball team, shutting down the national championship winners' request for name, image, and likeness compensation. There's been a lot of this going on where past teams now, because of all of the pot of money that's offered to athletes that are currently competing at the college level, they say, well, what about us? And what about all those video games? And what about all those jerseys that were sold? Well, the team, as we affectionately know as the Cardiac Pack, including a lot of nail-biting wins, the 54-52 win over Houston, the Planet Houston, as I like to say, in the 1983 National Championship game. 12 players had filed the suit requesting a jury trial and reasonable compensation back in June of 2024, and a judge finally shut it down. What do you think of the whole NIL, and especially players going backwards like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for NIL and, players getting a little chunk of, what's out there, but 1983, I mean, where was their name, image, and likeness going? So maybe there's some sort of threshold, maybe when the internet was invented, or what was the first social media, MySpace? Maybe when MySpace started, maybe when the first, video game came out. 1983, I think is going back a little bit.
My dad never called it MySpace. He called it My Face. That's one thing I remember about my dad. The Danny Justin radio program live from Laurelwood. Thanks for joining us wherever and however, and especially if you're dialed in to us on the YouTube channel. Hello, my friends. Pittsburgh Steelers 4-time All-Pro defensive tackle Cameron Hayward is seeking a raise in a defensive market that's experienced a reset this offseason. Hasn't fully participated in practice yet this summer. He awaits a restructured contract. He's got 2 years remaining on a contract that pays him $14.75 million this season. $13.45 million of that already have being earned as a roster bonus. And what we're hearing at Steelers training camp, Hayward is saying, I'm going to sit out. Now, do the Steelers need him? Not sure. But he is holding out for a little bit more money. We'll hear from Oregon running backs coach Rashad Samples in a moment, Kamar Mathuti as well. And then Oregon State football have their fall practice. I mean, it's fall. It's still summertime, but they call it fall practices. We'll hear from offensive line coach Mike Cavanaugh and a couple of the big boys that are seniors for the Beavers, Tyler Volton and Tyler Morano, about the offensive line for the Beavs a little bit later on in our program. The Mets, the New York Mets, will honor the 60th anniversary of the Fab Four's performance at Shea Stadium, where they will host the Mariners on August 15th, just coming up about a little bit more than a week from now, at Beatles Night at Citi Field. Now, remember, the 1965 performance, well, you don't remember, you weren't even born yet, was a milestone because the Beatles became the first rock band to perform at a major stadium concert arena. There's a 50-minute documentary film titled The Beatles at Shea Stadium. At that time, it was a multi-purpose stadium, was the home for both the Mets and the New York Jets. Celebration is going to begin with a performance by 1964, the tribute in front of Shea Bridge at 6:15. The first 15,000 fans to enter Citi Field will receive an exclusive Shea Stadium replica of what it looked like back then. And this is the cool part. Now, I told you this before we hopped on the program, General. The first pitches will be thrown by members of the game day staff who actually worked the famous concert, and there'll be a fireworks show after the game. I think that's pretty cool. They're involving people that were actually there.
No,
Beatles
super cool. But how old are they now? Are they throwing from the rubber? Are they throwing from the mound?
We're going to have to watch.
I'm going to be in New York next week. I might have to go find out. So.
Oh, okay. I think you can do a little recon for us. All right, there you go. News and notes, the Danny and Justin radio program here on a Thursday. It's weekend eve for Laurelwood. There's going to be some events coming up, and maybe we'll get Nick Sams down here in a few, but we'll get him maybe in the next segment. We'll get Nick Sams in the next segment. We'll talk about what's coming up here at Laurelwood. And one thing about Laurelwood is the ability of you as a patron to be able to bring your dog out to the course. Very unique. And the first time I saw it, I was like, how is that going to work? But most of the dogs.
And you spoke. Here's
the
most
Hagen.
favorite dog of Laurelwood, Hagen.
Hagen's coming over to our right. Yep.
Red carpet appearance.
So that's a little tease on what we're going to hear from Nick Sams here in a little bit. But let's talk a little Oregon football. And obviously a lot of anticipation, and we've got some news as well about what the Oregon Club is going to be partnering with Laurelwood about for watch parties up here. We'll dive into that in a little bit, Jeff. But Oregon head football coach Dan Lanning back in April of 2024 named Rashad Samples the new assistant head coach and running backs coach. And Rashad Samples, he's at that time was just 29, so now he's 30 years old, a young guy who's brought in a lot of really high-level kids recruiting-wise, and he's got a great backfield this year to work with. I mean, you think about, the Bucky Irvins of the world, the LaMichael James of the world, the Kenyon Barners of the world. The running back they kind of gave that to USC for a lot of years, but Oregon over the years, especially the last couple of decades, I mean, it's been incredible what they've had in the offensive backfield.
Yeah, I mean, I think any job with Oregon football is probably a destination job. But yeah, looking at the history and obviously more recent history of Oregon at the running back position, definitely whoever's filling those shoes has to be the best of the best. So I think we're happy to have him here in Eugene and looking forward to the next kind of crop of running backs, next man up, and go make some noise and score some touchdowns. It
is a crowded room, but it was, I guess you would say, added to or accelerated by Mekhi Hughes coming over a transfer. And Rashad Samples talks about how Mekhi has really integrated himself into the Oregon offense as a transfer with a room that was pretty crowded to begin with. That's cut number one.
Yeah, just the familiarity in the playbook. I think the comfortable. He's gotten so much more comfortable around his teammates with the scheme, with what we're gonna do. His personality is starting to come out. You can see him starting to come out his shell a little bit. So, man, Mekhi is growing every single day, and I think as he continues to get comfortable with what we're trying to do, the more time he spends understanding the scheme, the more time he spends understanding the totality of the offense, you can start to see his play go to the next level.
So Mekhi is a guy, he's bigger than a lot of Oregon running backs have been in the past, but he definitely has a lot of, I guess, experience in the right way. I mean, guys that might come into a new program, it's like, well, they might be bouncing from one place to another. Mekhi Hughes established himself as a force in his past and now trying to push it forward into the future in a room that, again, I'll say it, has a lot of talent in it already. Noah Whittington coming back, Jay Harris as well. And Jay Harris is one of those that got some touches at the end of last season. There's a huge upside to Jay Harris, and Rashad Samples talks about how Harris has impacted the running back room.
Yeah, I see it everywhere, man. Jay is one of the guys I'm most proud of. You talk about a kid going through the maturation process and finding himself as a player, finding himself spiritually, growing mentally, spending so much time in the playbook. I mean, he's so much different than he was last year. He's more coachable. He's more comfortable. He's more trustworthy. That's a kid that the sky's the limit when it comes to talent. I mean, he's ceilingless when it comes to talent. And so, as the person continues to grow, the player continues to grow.
Rashad Samples talking about Jay Harris in that offensive backfield for the Ducks, and one of the veterans coming back who got injured 2 years ago, came back and really put his presence front and center on that 13-0 regular season for the Ducks, and it's Noah Whittington, who is really the leader in that Oregon running back room. And Rashad Samples talks about how Noah has really put his presence and his thumbprint on this running back room.
He broke through the wall last year during the Illinois game, and that was big for him. He had a couple big runs, and I think that was like his like coming out party. And I think ever since then, you saw in some games late in the season, he started to get more comfortable. And I went back and watched his film when I first got here because he was hurt, and I saw the type of explosion he has, the type of slash running ability he has. And, ever since the end of last season, you've seen that grow, and you've seen that person get more confident in that leg and putting his foot in the ground, and his ability to run at guys and change direction. So more than anything, I think the ability's been there, and I think, you guys probably seen the ability he has more than I have. You guys were here to witness it. But I think he's finding a process, and I think he's become so much more consistent every single day as a player. Like I know what I'm gonna get from Noah Whittington every single day when we jog out on the field.
Athletes at elite levels sometimes have the hardest time coming back from an injury, and especially if you're a running back coming back from a lower leg injury, and trusting that you're going to be able to make that plant, make that turn, make those things that you were doing. And I'll tell you, that Illinois game that Coach Samples mentioned, also I can go back and think of, I think there was a defensive back that is still probably smarting from Noah Whittington, bowling him over at the goal line. So, I mean, you see it as well, even in track athletes. Coming back after an injury is probably some of the toughest thing mentally, not just physically, but mentally being able to trust the process.
Well, especially in football, and you want to have depth at every position, but especially at running back, you're coming back from an injury, and you have guys behind you that want your spot. It's like there's probably a lot of mental stuff in there. Am I coming back too soon? Can I make this cut or not? So not only your physical ability, but your mental ability to bounce back, that was pretty impressive last year. And we've both been to practices. Coach is not blowing smoke here. Like, they go hard, and it's not coach speak. This is legit, and this is something pretty excited that Duck fans can see this season.
Coming up in a little bit, we'll hear from Oregon State offensive line coach Mike Cavanaugh and a couple of the players from the Beavers that are also going hard through their drills as they get ready for Cal coming up at the end of this month. Nick Sams is waiting in the wings. We've got a special announcement about an event coming up at Laurelwood. The General is right next to me. It's Jeff Oliver, Danny Havel here on the Danny and Justin radio program, live from the Wood. We call it Weekend Eve at the Wood here on the Danny and Justin radio program in Newport and Eugene on Fox Sports. And a big thank you again to Bigfoot Beverages, who help support and sponsor sponsor this program. They've got a wide array of beverages upstairs. Yes, the beer is flowing. The cider is flowing up top. You can enjoy all of it out here at Laurelwood. Let's wrap up Oregon-centric talk. An inside linebacker, redshirt freshman from Los Angeles, California, Kamar Mathuti, is stepping in. He utilized his redshirt last year, only played in one game, and that game, by the way, was the Big Ten championship game against number 3 Penn State. So Kamar talks about how the entire room and how the entire defense is helping each other get better here as they roll up getting ready for Montana State on the 30th.
The word I wanted this season to be was poised, just being cool, calm and collected, being able to take everything in, see the field. I feel like when I came in, especially going through spring ball, fall camp last year, I had to spin all over the place, getting the call, where to look, where to line up, so just being poised. And I think I'm definitely taking that step over this last year.
And so one of these guys, and we talked about it in the defensive backfield yesterday, where there's going to be some question marks. There's going to be players that Oregon fans have not been used to hearing their names called, and this is another one of these, that there's going to be roles and there's going to be opportunities for guys to step up, and that's kind of exciting for Oregon fans.
Yeah, I think just the nature of college sports now, get to know your roster. I remember back in the day you had that roster over your neck to see who was who. I think we got to bring those back because there's a lot of new names, and it doesn't mean that they're young and inexperienced. A lot of these guys are studs, and they're going to get out there and make fans proud.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Nick Sams will join us. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on out here at Laurelwood, an event that you could take advantage of. Jeff Oliver, the general, we'll talk about a little Oregon Club event that's going on, and also Oregon State football. A little bit of a breakdown on the offensive line. Will Benson still coming up. Maybe we'll get a little Ryder Cup talk, but we'll also get a tip from Will Benson as the cooler. Jacob Henderson is out ill today. Jacob, get better. But we'll be back live on YouTube and over the air at Fox Sports. It's the Danny and Justin radio program live from Laurelwood.
Some of you are wondering, how did these guys get a show? Some of you may ask if Bill Knight was involved. Others may ask if the Reeser family was involved. The answer to both questions is yes. This is Danny and Justin on Fox Sports Eugene.
Ever since I was little, sports kept me focused on my future. Over the years, my cheering section has gotten a bit bigger. Whether you watch from the 50-yard line or from the comfort of your own living room, it's time for you to prepare for your next season of life.
I'm Scott Sims. I've spent years learning the ins and outs of Medicare insurance. Let me answer all your questions and get the coverage that's right for you.
Don't make Medicare choices on your own.
Go to turning65withscott.com today.
Online at
Appreciate you, bud.
locally owned. It's affordable.
What are you looking for in a realtor? Whether you're buying or selling, you want someone smart, someone who knows the local market and a track record of making their clients very happy. Hi, I'm Susan Heisey, broker owner of Bailey & Heisey Real Estate, an independent brokerage in South Eugene. I've been helping clients make smart real estate decisions for over 20 years. I work with only a handful of clients at a time, giving them a high level of attention and guidance. Call or text when you're ready to discuss your goals.
This fall, as Oregon State volleyball takes over Gill Coliseum and men's and women's soccer light up Paul Lorenz Field, season and single game tickets are on sale now. Visit beavertickets.com or call 1-800-GO-BEAVS to get yours today. The energy starts with you, so get ready to pack the house and bring the noise. See you there, Beaver Nation. Go Beavs!
All bets are on at the Three Rivers Casino Resort Sports.
FoxSportsEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to Danny and Justin on Fox Sports Eugene.
Live from Laurelwood, it's the Danny and Justin radio program. Sans Justin, he's up in Alaska. Right over there, it's the General. And, oh, hey, look, it's Nick.
Hi, I made it.
Nick Sams from Laurelwood.
What's nickname? Nick? Nick?
Oh, you know.
The name is Nick, so getting a nickname.
No. I do have a nickname for Nick.
Oof.
So now normally on the Danny and Justin radio program we have the gong and everything else, but that's kind of Justin's thing that we normally have. However, Nick Sams, because you have been on more than 3 times officially, we have to bestow a nickname upon you. So this is the 25th nickname. So magic number 25.
It's my favorite number.
Your favorite number is 25?
Yep.
Okay.
Huge Barry Bonds fans growing up. Yep, got it.
All right. So, without further ado, I'm not vamping. I already know what the nickname is. Nick Sams, from here on forth, your nickname is Hurricane. Hurricane Nick Sams. There you go. But I'm not sure if you like that or not, but man.
Are we referencing the wind, the cocktail? Like, I'm not entirely sure we're leaning
Well, you
towards
can take it wherever you want.
Yeah.
I bestow it upon you, and then however you use it. Man, you are one, you blow in, you blow out. You are all over the place. And you don't necessarily leave destruction in your wake. However, the energy that you bring is, I've been impressed from the day I met you on all the different ideas and the way you market this business here and the things you've done in the past. It's pretty impressive. So hopefully you're okay with Hurricane. But there it is.
Love it. I needed another nickname.
What other nicknames have you had? Have we discussed this before?
Yeah, I think I told you a little bit. The last time I went golfing somewhere else, I was out playing, ran into some friends I made on the course, and while we're going along, it turns out their kids go to school with my kid. I do fundraisers for them. So halfway through it, they're like, Nick doesn't sound familiar. And I'm like, well, my last name's Sams. They're like, no. And then someone goes, Laurelwood Nick. And they're like, oh, yeah. And everyone's like, oh, you're Laurelwood Nick.
Laurelwood Nick.
And the only one that tops that one was I moved here as a freshman in high school. And I thought I got cut from a baseball team for the first time in my life.
I do remember this story. Yeah.
On my way out, the coach stops me and he goes, where you going, Doug? I don't know who Doug is. And he's, you're Doug. I'm like, no, I'm Nick. He's like, we already got 3 Nicks.
You can't be
They called me Doug for 6 years. And you'd think my mom would be offended, right? She chose Nick. No. Instead, she just started showing up at baseball games and singing the Doug theme song from the cartoon. So it became, no one knew my name was Nick until I turned about 21 years old and became a bartender.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's Nick Sams, the General, Jeff Oliver. I'm Danny. Thanks for tuning in wherever and however here. Fox Sports in Eugene and Newport. We're blasting out on the coast. And by the way, I still haven't done the weather on the coast. So while I get that dialed up, well, actually right now.
I got you. I grew up on the coast. It's somewhere between 66 and 72 degrees with possible rain and a little bit windy.
Guaranteed no hurricane.
It's 63 degrees, feels like 56 in Newport. It's 75 right now, and we're only supposed to hit a high of 76. All right, enough of that foolishness. You do a great job out here. The entire staff, so friendly, so hospitable. The golf course is in great shape. The food is 5-star. I've told people I live in North Eugene. I make the trek all the way over here, so if I can do it, so can you. So first of all, do you want to talk about any food specials, or do you want to just get into the fun event that's going to be coming up?
I want to jump right into the event.
Okay,
if we
beautiful.
can.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
It's one of my favorite and everyone's favorites around here. We do it annually. We started last year. It's Putts for Pups. We team up with the Green Hill Humane Society. They'll be out here. You can adopt a pup. You can sign up to volunteer. We're going to set up barbecue scenario and that old 9th green off of the, I think that'll be the east side of the building.
To our
right over here.
Hurricane should know what direction.
I was going to say, we almost looked like a ZZ Top video when we did that on the YouTube. We can just do that. All right, over there.
So we're going to set that up. It's going to be covered in random prizes.
Okay.
And you're going to come in, you're going to spend $5 to buy a golf ball. All $5 goes right to the Green Hill Humane Society.
Okay.
Whatever you put that into, you miss, you win nothing. You put it in, you win whatever it is. Last year we had some Yeti coolers, some beer tours, some brewery gift certificates. We have free golf rounds, a lot of swag from some different people around town.
The whole Yeti cooler's out there?
Yeah.
I should be able to hit that, even with a bad putt.
We try to make it a little more difficult than that. So the bigger prizes will have a little bit of things to work around. You know, it's not a sand bunker.
Obstacles?
Yes.
All right. Very nice.
But anything else you get, just walk up, putt, bring something home, and that $5 goes right to Green Hill. Last year we raised $2,500 for Green Hill.
Wow.
It was outstanding, and it's fun to have fun and do the right thing at the same time.
So again, the date of the event is
August 14th.
August 14th. And
4 o'clock.
So you guys this is not the first year you've done this.
No.
So the Green Hill Humane Society, and we are animal lovers. I am outnumbered by far in my house, and I've always told my wife that if she had to choose between the animals and me, I lose out on that whole equation. But we have done rescues throughout our entire life, and when I say a rescue, it's animals that unfortunately have found themselves in a bad situation. Somebody has to give them up for a living situation or a move, or they've been abandoned or some other reason. What a great job Green Hill does, and what a way to support them. So it's a very small piece of it, but it's a huge piece, because that can mean the difference between an animal making it or not.
They're a great program. They're a great company. Bring your dogs out. Come out.
That's what I love about here. We just talked about that you bring the animals, and then on cue, Hagen comes around the corner.
There's nothing cuter than this moment. Like, you come out that day, we've got dogs everywhere running around playing, kids putting balls, adults putting balls. Everything is such a blast. We do it for about 3-4 hours till we run out of prizes. We'll see if we can come up with some others if we run out. At that point, just keep it going to raise as much money for Green Hill as possible. It's my favorite that we do out of the year. We do a lot of golf tournaments, and we try to do as much charity work as we can. But this Green Hill one, Putts for Pups, is just an absolute blast.
All right, it's the 14th of August. You don't have to sign up for anything. Just show on up. It starts again what time?
4 o'clock.
Okay.
Ross and Taryn will be out here checking you in. You want to get a golf ball. You want to get some barbecue. We'll have some pig's ears and some frozen carrots for the pups.
Nice.
Anything you buy off that pups menu, that money's going to go right back to Green Hill as well. So the more money we can raise to take care of these animals and help out the ways we can, the better.
Attaboy. Good job, Nick. Man. All right. So you want to stay here as I go through Oregon State stuff, or you want to talk about?
Well, I want to give you
about food.
A couple things before we take off. I got some food coming for you in a little while. I think you're going to be excited about. But I'll let you and the general here do your thing.
Well, as long as Mims isn't here, I'll be able to get into it at least one. You know, Goose has food in front of him, and it's just like everything else shuts down. Is all there is to it.
Yeah, he checked out. That was great.
Yeah, no, it's great.
It was like a Carl's Jr. commercial with it. He was just in that, dripping down the side.
I'm busy. I'm eating right now.
Goose has spent a lot of time in press boxes.
Yes, he has. Absolutely.
Just a quick heads up, because we do have some events Friday and Saturday this week. We don't have the Friday night smoke show.
Oh, okay.
We'll be closed early on Friday and Saturday. Golf course is still open. Come hit the range. Come grab a beer. Go play your round.
Yep.
Upstairs is closed for a couple high school reunions and little celebrations. So otherwise, we're still alive and out here having fun.
All right, and we'll look forward to seeing what you're going to surprise us with a little bit later. Rotating beer menu as well upstairs. Bigfoot beverages.
10 beers on draft. Bigfoot beverages. We've got a pretty great cumulus in front of each one of you. You got a pale here and an IPA on this side.
Love that.
That's Cold Fire, baby.
Look at
They do our Tuesday sponsorship. It's the
look
Cold
better
Fire
if it was
Tuesday
full.
week. I can make that happen. Just give me about 3 minutes to get back upstairs.
Attaboy, Nick.
All right.
It's Nick Sand, proprietor out here at Laurelwood. What a great job that they do, and giving back to the community as well with Putt for Pups. It's coming up on the 14th of August, 4 p.m. Get signed up. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. My wife, she doesn't like me committing to things without talking to her first. I'm here. I'm absolutely going to be here. So bring the pups. Sorry, I turned your microphone off. Go ahead, say it again.
That's okay. Bring the pups.
Yep.
I'll bring mine down. He's a lunatic, so he's going to be all over the place.
I don't know about that. That might be a stretch with my Bella.
Is the grounds crew aware a bunch of dogs are coming to the course? Like, is everybody not coming to work on the 15th?
More sick days. It's like the day after the Super Bowl
Call
for
out,
this golf
like,
course.
no,
Like,
don't work on the 15th.
All right, boy. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate
all right,
you, buddy.
have a great time, boys.
Yep, there he goes, the great Nick Sams from Laurelwood. As we'll dive into some Oregon State football right now. Let's do that. Offensive line coach Mike Cavanaugh is much traveled and started out way back in the day, back in the early 90s, and he followed Mike Riley around for a while. He's been at Syracuse, Arizona State, Nebraska. This is his second stint at Oregon State. He actually was an offensive analyst with the Ducks back in 2023-24. But Coach Cavanaugh talks about in this, when the Ducks had their issues last year at the beginning of the season with their O-line, Oregon State this season has no issues. It's a senior-laden squad. We're going to hear from Tyler Volton and Tyler Morano in a little bit. But Mike Cavanaugh talks about the offensive line right now going up against a great defense in Oregon State in the practice.
He flashes at times. You got to get more consistent, too. I think Bam's had a good camp. Van Wells, our center. I think Nathan Elu has had a good camp. He's been consistent. Love his smart and toughness. Right tackle, Ty Morano's back. He's getting reps there. He's growing as it. He's got a lot of rust. He hasn't played in a couple of years. So.
That's Mike Cavanaugh talking about some of the players coming back and the depth that they've got on that offensive line and the looks that they have. Mike Cavanaugh breaks that down.
Great thing for us is what we see every day in Coach Bray's defense. We're seeing everything. We're seeing even front. We're seeing odd front. We're seeing bare front. We're seeing tons of pressure. So being alert to grow off of all that stuff, I think, is really good.
So it's one thing to go up pad against guys, the ones against the ones. It's another thing to have a coach, especially the head coach, who is more invested in the defensive side of the football. It does test an offense when you're going up in practice.
Yeah, and I think, I think great things are going to happen up in Corvallis. I'm a Duck. It's tough to talk about the Bees, but I think all of this conference realignment, I think maybe that was a distraction last year, and I think the focus is back on football, and they're looking, they're like, hey, that's behind us. We're still legit. Let's go be a top 25 team. Go get a bowl game. We're still a big football program. Come watch us and go win some games.
So Oregon State's got a couple of Oregon kids on the offensive line and a redshirt senior out of Regis up in Portland area and State and Oregon kid. It's Tyler Volton, who as a redshirt junior saw action in the first couple of games against Idaho State and San Diego State, and he started at right guard. The most games he played in was as a redshirt sophomore, but he brings a lot of experience to that offensive line room, and he talks about how everyone across that front line is working on their technique.
Mostly technique stuff, some scheme stuff, but yeah, I think most of it's just technique, just dialing in technique, making sure it's second nature for us when we go out there on Saturdays. Yeah.
Juniors and seniors across that front line for Oregon State's offensive line. Tyler Volton talks about the leadership and the senior leadership at Oregon State.
Past leadership, Jake Levingoods, the Henley Bloomfields, the Tollies, Kippers, all those guys 3 or 4 years ago, 2 years ago, those guys have been kind of like the model.
And Tyler Morano is another offensive lineman, another redshirt senior. He did not play last year, played in 6 games as a redshirt sophomore. As a redshirt freshman, he got into 8 contests and was a part of that offensive line that helped the Beavers rush for almost 200 yards a game, and that was among the Pac-12 leaders. But the kid from Livermore, California, says about their offensive line, every single practice, every single week, they're just trying to get better.
They've gotten a lot better over the offseason. They're faster, stronger, all that stuff. It's just going to make us better. We're going to have to sharpen our technique up. We're going to have to get our schemes down really well because they're going to do really good stuff on the other side too. That's what, who wins practice, all that stuff, but we're just all getting better.
That is Tyler Morano as a part of the Oregon State offensive line and one of those groups for Trent Bray's squad that's going to have to really step up this season, and with a brand new quarterback behind them in Malik Murphy, and a lot of excitement on the outside with their wide receiver crew, with Trent Walker, with Darius Clemens, and Taz Reddix. It's going to be interesting to see how the offense performs and break out after an up and down last season. All right, we're going to take one more quick break. Waiting in the wings, hand on hips. It is Will Benson. We're going to talk a little Ryder Cup. We're going to talk a golf tip. I'm not sure what Will's going to bring to the table, but I know he's going to bring something. So stay tuned for that as we return here live at Laurelwood on a Thursday. It's Weekend Eve in the Wood, the Danny and Justin radio program.
Follow Danny and Justin on Twitter or Blue Sky with
There's no max out of pocket with original Medicare.
I'm Scott Sims. I've spent years learning the ins and outs of Medicare insurance. Get the coverage that's right for you.
Don't make Medicare choices on your own.
Go to turning65withscott.com today.
What are you looking for in a realtor? Whether you're buying or selling, you want someone smart, someone who knows the local market and a track record of making their clients very happy. Hi, I'm Susan Heisey, broker owner of Bailey & Heisey Real Estate, an independent brokerage in South Eugene. I've been helping clients make smart real estate decisions for over 20 years. I work with only a handful of clients at a time, giving them a high level of attention and guidance. Call or text when you're ready to discuss your goals.
Affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
1050 AM, 102.9 FM, and FoxSportsEugene.com. You're listening to Danny and Justin on Fox Sports Eugene. I love the show. Call the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline at 541-343-KORE.
Dad joke still upcoming here on the Danny and Justin radio program, live from Laurelwood. It is a Thursday, so if you hear us out at Laurelwood, you know it's Thursday, wherever you're at. Thanks for listening in Eugene and Newport. And we welcome in, hey, look, everybody, it's Will Benson. On the YouTube channel as well, if you want to tune us in there. Thanks for tuning in wherever, and it also repeats. And if you miss us live, you can also go back and pod us wherever you podcast, Spotify, Odyssey, iHeart, even YouTube. We're everywhere. So, Will, you get quite an honor. First of all, welcome back. You were on our first show.
I was. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, you get quite an honor. You get to go back and be at the Ryder Cup. So, talk about that and the roll up to that here at the end of this month.
Yeah, so probably 6 or 7 years ago, I became friends with this guy, Andrew, and it turned out he is the superintendent of grounds for Bethpage State Park. And over the years, when I met him at the national show, we kind of got to know each other more and more and started going out for dinner and went up to dinner with him and his wife up in Portland. And eventually he sent me a letter this year saying, hey, why don't you come volunteer at the Ryder Cup? And I said, well, Andy, I'm getting a little old to be raking bunkers and doing stuff. He says, no, your job will be to water the bunker on 16. That'll be your job. So that's where I'll be from the 21st to the 28th.
How cool is that? It's not your first Ryder Cup, is it? Or is it?
It's my first Ryder Cup. I've been to the Masters a couple times, but this is my first time working a big league event.
So we've talked before about what it takes to get a course ready, and a course like that, Bethpage and the Ryder Cup. So it sets up wildly different than what the normal people would play. Correct?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, Andrew started preparations over 2 years ago.
Wow.
In the planning and setting up for everything, and they started putting stands up 6 months ago, and they're just closing in on the end of it now. Preparations are there.
By the way, sorry, I was distracted. We just got some ahi tuna
wraps.
taco. They're wraps. They're not tacos. So you got the lettuce. So if you're looking on YouTube, I'm showing that to you as well. What beautiful presentation. Again, the food here at Laurelwood is second to none. And like I said, I drive all the way over from North Eugene. If I'm going that far for food, it's got to be pretty good.
I've seen you at every brunch.
Yes, you have. All right, buddy. So, wonderful. So we're going to look forward to hearing from you.
Yep, we're going to try and call in during one of the days.
All right, that's awesome. So let's talk about the course here at Laurelwood, obviously. You work hard. Your entire staff works hard on everything that they do out here. Sorry, we just had a pup. You didn't see him on the radio, obviously, right here, right in the middle of us. So talk about how the course is, how it's working out in terms of the heat, because people sometimes they can think, well, you know what, they have to dump a bunch of water on it. So when you get into the summertime in the height of where the season is, how do you help maintain the course when we get into consistent 90-degree weather, or even coming up this week in 100-degree weather?
Yeah, well, the funny thing is we're probably watering 30%, 40% less than we were 6 or 7 weeks ago.
And why is that?
Well, it's just the days are shorter. The mornings are a little bit colder, and the evaporation level is just way less than June or July. So right now I've been spending more time trying to turn the water down to keep the ground firm than I have been putting water down. And then we're doing a little bit more spot watering in areas just with hoses rather than running all the things for extended periods of time.
The greens are in great shape. They always have been out here at Laurelwood. They're not squishy anymore. I mean, decades ago, you would walk on there and it'd be like being on a sponge back down, but not that way anymore. So credit to you and your staff. All right, so the cooler's not here. Jacob Henderson, the golf pro here at Laurelwood, he's not feeling very well, so hopefully he gets better soon. So we're roping you in to give us a golf tip. So what do you want to talk about this week?
All right, so I'll give you the one that we worked on a lot when I was caddying for a woman that was in the U.S. Women's Amateur, and then she turned pro.
Oh, by the way, Women's Amateur is out at Bandon Dunes this week,
It is,
right?
yep. Yeah. They're out there grinding away, yep.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Yep. So what we did and what our coach taught us, which I never knew this, so something you can practice when you go to the practice green, is that every short putt within 3 or 4 feet around a cup, there's 2 putts that are straight. So if you put like 12 balls around a pin and you putt them all, you'll eventually see that 2 of them are straight, and then the ball's going to break in opposite direction, opposite itself each time. So when you learn to read putts and you're out on the course, what you do is once you get acquainted with that, you try and find the straight putts. Then off of that, you should be able to find the arc, which way the putt will break. So when you practice, put 12 around a cup, find the straight putts, then putt the other ones, and you'll see the arc, and you should be able to take that out to the course to read those short putts that are kind of testy.
Well, this is great because last week Jacob was talking to us on putting, and it was about keeping the pendulum, keeping the shoulders, and making it a motion.
Yep.
So this is great. You can take that and practice it.
There you go.
And so I think people at times, they want to practice the 25, 30-foot putt. The percentage of those makes are, even for the pros, under 10% for the most part.
Yep.
So the ones where you can really start to score.
Yeah, 2 to 4 feet is where you can go from a 4 to a 6 in the blink of an eye.
Right. So, Will, thanks, buddy.
Thanks,
man,
bud.
Look at you.
Good seeing as always.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you're just a working man.
I just clean up well, don't I?
As always, bud. As always. And look forward to hearing from you at the Ryder Cup. Congratulations on that.
Thank
Sounds
you very
fun.
much.
All right, there he goes. The great Will Benson. A great tip as Will gets you all ready for the greens, and I think it's a great tip. I'm gonna get the general back in here on the Danny and Justin radio program as we wind down the last few minutes of this program. Do you see these ahi tuna wraps here?
Yeah, those are money.
Okay, so all right, so we need to decide. So this one's yours right here. That one's mine. We can fight over that one.
I think Hagen wanted that one.
Okay,
I saw
so
Hagen
if
come up.
Hagen wants what? No, Hagen came up and grabbed some wood right in between us. I don't know what that was, but whatever. So I wanted to flip it real quick to you and I. You are the president of the Oregon Club of Eugene Springfield this year. I'm your second there. You're lieutenant. We want to plan some cool things up here at Laurelwood for Oregon football in the fall and have some watch parties for away games. So can we talk about that a little bit,
definitely.
what that would look like?
Yeah. Maybe give the listeners and the viewers a little bit of what the Oregon Club's all about. So we're blessed to kind of lead an organization that is out there trying to raise funds for student-athlete scholarships. Oregon's pretty unique in that every scholarship that they award to an athlete, they are actually writing a check for that full tuition to the campus side for that student-athlete's scholarship. So they need to raise a bunch of money to pay for those scholarships, and we're fortunate enough to be able to help with some cool things, the 50-50 raffle of football games and a golf tournament, and all kinds of things. And one thing we're going to kind of add to the list this year is for the football away games, doing a watch party up here at Laurelwood. So super casual, just an opportunity to come up here and watch the road games with your Duck fans, and we'll do some raffles and have some cool prizes and add a couple special things to the menu. Weather's nice, maybe some barbecuing and the such. And so just another thing, again, at the end of the day, we're on that organization to help raise some money. We're not going to be passing a bucket around for these watch parties. No. It's really just to come up here and have an opportunity to spend time with your fellow Duck fans and enjoy the game. This is a great place. We've talked about the food left and right today, but it's a great spot. There's a huge screen up there to watch any type of sport. So let's gather for the the road football games and cheer on our Ducks.
So one thing we also want to emphasize with the Oregon Club this year is the 50-50 drawings that the Oregon Club has been known for throughout the years. In the last couple of years under your leadership, it's gone to a whole other level with people being able to, in the state of Oregon only, being able to go online and buy tickets if you're not going to be at the game, or you want to do it beforehand, you're coming to the game. It's like, I'm just going to have this electronic, number, and it's all the same odds. There's no difference. I think people go, well, if I buy a ticket live, I have a better chance. Absolutely not. It all goes into a rando drawing and everything else. But we do those drawings as well for the away games, and it's one of the main fundraisers for the Oregon Club. We'll do it up here when we have our watch parties, but it's pretty cool what we've seen as well with the participation from the fan base, the away fans as well, in the 50-50 drawing. It's really taken off.
Yeah, I think we're kind of catching up with technology and being able to, take credit cards now. That just happened a couple of years ago, but again, you can buy your tickets now online if you're within the state of Oregon. Last year, that Ohio State game got up to $60,000. So there's a winner. Somebody that was at that game, or a Duck fan that was in the state of Oregon, won $30,000 for being a Duck fan. So keep your eyes out. OregonClub.org, GoDucksRaffle.com. Put those websites kind of on your favorites, and a lot of fun stuff coming up this fall.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll be obviously keeping you up to date on all those. Buddy, we got to jump out here. I'm going to do dad joke in a second.
Quick duck thing. Yeah, sure. Kiara Romero is out at the women's amateur, and she's currently in the quarterfinals. So go Ducks.
Go Ducks. All right, bud. Thanks a lot. Again, that's the great general. It's Jeff Oliver giving me a hand as Justin's up in Alaska. Tomorrow on the program, Audrey Snyder from Penn State. She has covered the Nittany Lions for years, used to do it with the Athletic, and now she's going to be our source for all inside Penn State action. We're going to talk to her tomorrow right here on the program. Let's do Dad Joke.
Oh, a joke!
I got fired from the bank today. A woman asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her.
Dad jokes!
All right, so we lease an electric car, and I know EVs are the big thing right now, so here is an electric car dad joke. Why did the electric car feel discriminated against? Because the rules weren't current. There you go. Thanks to Abby back in the studio producing the program. Great job again today as well with Nick Sams, with Will Benson out here at Laurelwood, with Hagen, our resident dog Scott out here, and of course the general, Jeff Oliver, as yeah, it's just been we love coming out here every single Thursday. So come on out, enjoy all the beautiful weather, the great food. Tomorrow, back in the studio with Audrey Snyder, and we'll talk Penn State, Oregon football as we wind out the week here on the Danny and Justin radio program. God bless, put a smile on your face, someone else's. They deserve it, so do you. Peace.
There's no max out of pocket with original Medicare.
I'm Scott Sims. I've spent years learning the ins and outs of Medicare insurance. Get the coverage that's right for you.
Don't make Medicare choices on your own.
Go to turning65withscott.com today.
Ruth, coming up next on Fox.
What are you looking for in a realtor? Whether you're buying or selling, you want someone smart, someone who knows the local market and a track record of making their clients very happy. Hi, I'm Susan Heisey, broker owner of Bailey & Heisey Real Estate, an independent brokerage in South Eugene. I've been helping clients make smart real estate decisions for over 20 years. I work with only a handful of clients at a time, giving them a high level of attention and guidance. Call or text when you're ready to discuss your goals.
And Magic the Gathering cards. They got all kinds of great stuff. Keep us occupied and have you here for 5 stinking minutes.
You do make a good point. I guess we're going to video game headquarters.
Yeah. All that noise. We're going to